now listening to.
Yo people, Tifa here with Fit Bully TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. I'm here with Stan the dog man. Hey. And today we're gonna talk about dialing your dog back. Once you turn the dog on, you know, controlling them is everything. Challenge is we got a dog like Ego who's highly motivated. I won't say for all the wrong things, but for the things that I need to be motivated for. So he's always like, he's ready to go. Part of dialing a dog back, and correct me if I'm wrong, is making sure he has what they call obedience training. So if a dog is obedient, then you can basically better manage that on switch. Because for those who just let the dog be a dog, and if you've got one of them dogs like a German Shepherd, a Mal, and it's got no training, that dog is a lunatic, I'd imagine, without any training. So what I've done is I built Ego's confidence, I built his work, and now it's time to control a little bit more because he gets too riled up. And I knew this was coming, but once you know the dog can bite, then it's like, okay, let's point when and where, and the best way to do that is sit, stay down. Stan said it best one time, all dogs were born doing things, they need a time and a place. Well, guess what? When people are over, a dog need to chill out. When you're out here, and you know, give him a view. Give him a view right here. When you're out in these spots right here, I don't want my dog acting crazy in certain environments. I like to take him places and be social. So we're just gonna work on a few things. Now mind you, he's gonna be a terrible example of what he's gonna be a terrible example of how much, he's gonna be an example of how much work needs to be done. But he's gonna be a terrible example as far as like getting you like what he should be doing, because this nigga's wild, to be clear. Stan, it's on you now. Let's get him going. Hey, Stan's gonna be directing me, teaching me, showing me. I've got the prong collar just in case. We're gonna address all the things that you can focus on. But look, see, he's already like, mind you, I'm saying terrible, but I be working with the niggas. When we go outside and we do this kind of stuff, he's like, he gets in the zone. But if it's like that sleeve or one of them toys comes out, he's in another place of state of being.
So what you do is you want to build up, here you go, get some treats. So you want to build up to the point where you do get the distractions with that sleeve, with the tug, and all of those things, but you want to start with a low stimuli, so that's where we're going to use food. So we're just going to get Trevor to lure him around, play with him a little bit, getting him used to working without that tug. And then after he's done so many repetitions with just the food, now we're going to bring the tug out to let him understand that if he sits, if he stays, if he downs, if he heels, whatever we want him to do, he's going to get that big paycheck with that tug. And that's what he wants more than anything in the world. So we go slow and low stimuli with the food, so we can literally draw where we want him to be, getting him in that perfect position. And then when we want that enthusiasm and that rambunctiousness, that assholeness to come out, that's when we're gonna get that tug. But now he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing, so we're gonna mark the positive behavior with that tug.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got a tug?
I got one, but I ain't bring it out. But let's just work on commands first. I got some questions for you on the training side. Cool. Ego, come on.
So this would be a casual recall. He doesn't need the dog to come to any position. He just wants the dog to be with him in this vicinity. If you can have a casual recall where your dog's not running off trying to go up those stairs, because again, we're out here, like you said, show him there's no fence in, there's cars going, there's a bridge up there, there's a ditch over there. And if you don't have the ability to communicate with your dog in these situations, don't try it before you can do it in your backyard. So like Trevor said, he's been working with him with not a lot of distractions, so now we're out here with more. The dog already knows what he's supposed to be doing. We're just gonna make it a little bit more efficient with the distractions.
Ego, come here. Hey. So, first thing I should be doing is what?
Movement. Okay. So movement's always gonna be your best friend. So just like if I want Ego to come to me, oh, don't step on the leash, cameraman. I'm gonna move away from him, and that's gonna draw him to come to me. So we wanna teach him that basically when you move, he should be paying attention to where you're going.
Ego.
So that's gonna be more of a formal recall where he has to come and be in a finished position. So when you say the word front, he should come and he's gonna sit. And then he gets his paycheck. So this command is gonna be one that you can do again to keep your dog safe. If he goes off running there, it's Ego front, and he needs to come running back here, get in this position, and wait long enough until we can grab that leash or tell him to do the next position. So tell him front, or you can say here.
And mind you, I have done none of this. Well, I do a lot of it, but not with a lot of words. I put up a video the other day where I was just working on positions. And mind you, my dog, I tried training him 8 weeks to walk off the leash and just be within 5 to 10 meters if you would.
Oh, he's about to drop it.
Yeah.
He had the salad bar.
Here you go.
There you go.
Good boy. Good boy. Here you go.
Like Trevor was saying, he's not using commands because, again, the words don't mean anything to the dog. You can tell him cheese and that can mean sit for the dog. So as long as you're showing him the positions and the behaviors that you want him to do and marking it with tug, ball, food, or even love and affection, the dog's gonna understand how to be with you. So you're doing good. So this time you're gonna call him and tell him stay.
Here you go, come here.
So sit,
Sit,
and then stay.
stay,
1, 2, 3, give him a release command.
free.
Stay right. Yeah, that's what I said.
He said he uses free, so I'm gonna use it. I be saying good though.
So good is more of a positive marker that the dog's doing something.
Yeah,
so
there you
when
go.
they're in that heel position, it's gonna be good, free. So free is basically that clocking out command, that buzzer. All right, we off work now. With that good, it's like patting you on the back. Hey, keep going. You're doing a good job there.
So now you know with each one of these words, it can impact your dog, especially because people be like, good dog, good dog, good dog. He get confused.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Here you go, come here.
Can free and out be confusing? When you're using out, when you're using like the tug, like can that be confusing to the dog as well?
No, because it's going to be in a different situation. So
Okay.
free is basically we're clocked out, we're done. I can go back to being a dog. Like you see, he's going over there eating the grass. The out command is going to mean let go of whatever you have in your mouth and then sit down or down, whatever you gave in that dog the finished position after you give him that out command. So 2 separate concepts.
Gotcha.
All right, so now you want to get to about 5 seconds on that stay.
Hey, I'm a bet. Here you go. Here you go. This dude is on a mission. Sit. Stay. Free.
All right.
So
You're gonna-
how do you keep a dog in the down position? That's the one I need to know. The stay, that's the stay, we've been there 21 days. Start working at 5, 10, 15 seconds. And I can get him to go down with the tree, like boom, he'll go down. But I need him to stay there.
So, okay. So, all right, we're going to do it this way. Show me what you do.
Here you go. Sit. Down.
So what do you want him to do?
Good. See? That's the job.
What do you want him to do? Huh? You gotta tell him stay.
Oh, stay, that's where, so down, stay.
Yeah, if you taught him what sit stay means to keep that position until he hears that release command. So eventually you will get into applied down. If you go down stay so many times, he's gonna understand that stay's coming after. So you go down stay, break, down stay, break, or free, whatever you're gonna be
free.
using, and then just start weaning off the stay. So you'll go down and then stand up. He's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to stay. Okay, now free, boom. So you just add up
Communication, people, that makes sense. It's all communication.
Yeah.
All communication, and you, look, dog can go down, but he don't know to stay. But he don't know to stay because I ain't teaching him to stay.
Didn't tell him.
Taught him to sit, didn't tell him to stay, so he ain't staying.
I always use the example about in your GPS. If you get in your car and you put that GPS to where you're going, it's gonna tell you where you need to go and get you there on time. But if you get in your car and just sit there and look at your GPS, the GPS will be like, where are we going?
So if you got a dog that is a bit challenging too, talk to them a little bit about this Herm Spring collar.
So
It looks bad, but it's not.
yeah, man. I mean, you can. These get a bad rep because, I mean, any tool used incorrectly, a screwdriver can kill somebody or it can tighten up some bolts. So it depends on how you use the tool. So Herm Springer prong collars are the only one I really suggest because of the way that they're made. This plate in the middle, it acts as a jawbone. So when it's on the dog, it's gonna give them like a little bite. The first correction that they ever got was from mama dog. So it's a very psychological correction. It's not necessarily painful. And you do want to start with a low stimuli when you're popping when you're pressuring them, because you don't want to start with a level 10 correction because you may not need it. And ideally, like Trevor doesn't have it on him right now, we will never need the prong collar. But if you do use a prong collar, use it like training wheels. When you're teaching your kid how to ride a bike, they're gonna ride with training wheels, and after they learn the concept of what they're supposed to be doing, that's when you take the training wheels off and they start learning how to actually ride. And that's when the dogs start learning how to actually do the commands that we're asking them to do, not just because they have on the training wheels.
Okay.
So we don't need this just
Mind you, you see how he's acting? It's jingling. He's hearing this. He never seen this before. He thinks this is a toy because of how it sounds. Like he literally no clue what this is because I haven't used it. Not on him at least. But we got it just in case. It's still got the plastic though.
There's a time and a place for it, and one day you may need to use it once. But after we've shown him exactly what he's supposed to do when he chooses to mess up, or if he does something incorrectly, it's just like a teacher giving you an F on that test.
Yeah.
So this is basically that F on that test. If he's messing up, then you help him troubleshoot and get him back right.
Okay, so number one goal for the day, people, let's look. Teach your dog to sit, then work on his stay. What's the way and how important is obedience when it comes to dialing a dog back? Let me get a couple more treats. Here you go. Come here.
Obedience is going to be very important in dialing a dog back because, again, you can start controlling how they're using their energy, right? So it's the same thing I've started to do with Juice. Juice loves a tug. He loves bite work. So we do obedient stuff when there's no bite work present while he's interested in the food and anything like that. And then when the decoy's out there, now he has to sit and down before he gets that bite. So he's really started understanding what these commands mean. So you want to give that foundation and then start building up on it to make it more efficient and harder for the dog to be successful, but they know exactly how to be successful. So you want to raise that level up as you go on, but you don't want to start at 10.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes anything else they should know about the importance of commands. And remember, the objective of this particular episode is I'm getting a lot of people. I mean, literally just showed him a message of a person saying, hey, my dog's too amped up. I need to dial him back. He's too much. He's too much. Well, when your mama told you to sit down and shut the fuck up, what did she mean by that? Mean if you don't listen, she gonna slap you in the goddamn mouth. So when mama said that, you knew, shit, let me sit here and mind my motherfucking business.
Yep.
Otherwise, she's coming with that switch, that belt, and that hot hand. So it's important that your dog has the same level of manners, if you would. So we teach a dog manners, and I call it safety for a reason. The safer your dog is, a safe dog is a dog that returns when you recall it and knows where to be when you are asking it to be there. And just like a kid, you wouldn't want your kid running out in the street, would you? So if you tell your dog, hey, come back, you should come back. You told your kid to come back, the kid should come back. Your hope is at least that joker come back. But that's because of the work you're doing, and it's communication, all that other stuff. Anything I'm missing?
Nah, I mean, again, just start slow with the dog. Like, you can't expect them, if you've never worked with your dog, do not bring your dog out here to this bridge and let them off lead. Do not do it. It's just not safe. If you
can running all up in the street and carrying on.
Looking goofy, be on World Star. He's chasing this dog. He's chasing this dog.
And mind you, I let mine off the leash because I know he's not going nowhere. Only time he might be motivated if there's another dog around. But even then, that's why we got to tighten up those communication skills, his obedience training per se.
To let him know when, where, and if I say this, it don't matter where it is, you're supposed to do that. But if I tell you, come over here, that means to come over here. I don't care if there's a bitch and heat over there. I don't care if somebody got a steak. I asked you to come back, that means you come back. And again, you set the dog up in situations where you can control the outcome. For long distance stuff, I like to use that retractable leash because again, they can be 26 feet away from you and then you can just go, hey pup. And if they ignore you, you can tap them on the shoulder like, hey.
So that's one thing, let's finish off with that then. Make sure you go into how people, like why is the leash important when starting obedience training?
So a leash isn't necessarily important when you start, but the leash is going to be beneficial to sharpen up stuff because again, I want to teach the dog everything off leash so they understand the exact position that they're supposed to be in. But if the dog isn't as sharp as I would like him to be, now we need that leash to help limit what he can do, and we can kind of tap him on the shoulder or help him adjust to the proper position that he's going to be in. So leashes are really important. It's not the most important thing. It's all about communication, and if you can show that dog what you want, but that leash is going to be there as like a backboard. So sometimes, you know, you're going to shoot a 3-pointer and it's going to hit a swish. Sometimes you're going to call glass. So it's a tool necessary when you need to get that fundamentals down, like Tim Duncan.
He's fundamental. That being said, people, like, subscribe, share. Iron Sharp K9, Stan the Man Smith, and here, well, you know, T-Fit with Fit Bully TV. People, take care of your dogs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.